Now let's turn our attention back to UFC 229 as we keep going back and forth here between Bellator and UFC. One of the big fights on the main card involves Felice Herrig and our next guest, the one and only Karate Hottie. It has been a while since we spoke. She's now standing by on the phone. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hear you're doing one of these big media days in LA, right? All over the place they have you?
I am. We flew in last night, got a good night's rest, and yeah, we're just jumping back and forth from place to place, talking about UFC 229.
Do you like this so close to the fight? Is this a nuisance for you or you enjoy it?
You got to embrace it. It's amazing. This is one of the most historical fights, in my opinion, that is happening. And so if you don't take advantage of these opportunities to talk about this exciting event, then it's going to pass you by. And I would be pretty sad that I didn't just accept and embrace and enjoy everything that's happening.
What was your reaction, Michelle, when they told you they wanted you to be on the main card of this incredible main event, the biggest in UFC history, in my opinion? You're going to be so many people will be watching, and you're like just an hour before them. What was your reaction?
I didn't even know where I was going to land on the card until they showed it on the screen when we were watching some of the earlier fights. So I just, the butterflies set in, and I kind of looked at my husband and was like, oh, well, I guess I'm on the pay-per-view card.
And I'm assuming that's a good, that sort of raises the stakes for you. You like that sort of thing.
I do think that I tend to rise to the occasion when the pressure's on. So, yes, it's exciting. But, at the end of the day, a fight's a fight. When they close the door behind you, it's just you and your opponent. And as long as I can keep a level head about that, then I think I can go in there and just be me.
Speaking of pressure and rising to the occasion, it felt, at least to me, there was some bit of pressure on you going into that Courtney Casey fight. And after you won, you were very emotional, hugging your husband, Josh. There was a lot riding on it, and it was a solid performance out of you on a big stage as well. What would have happened if you lost that fight?
You just go back to the drawing board and get better and improve. I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp. It's your fighting record is a lot different than, say, in an NFL team or something like that. With a loss, a lot can change. The trajectory of your career can change, and it can be scary. And when your career is riding on whether you win or lose, that's a lot of pressure. But if you allow that pressure to boggle you down, then it will. But if you allow that pressure to give you energy and allow you to perform, then it will. So I think either way, you'll do what you allow it to do.
Courtney maintains she won that fight. Do you feel confident saying you won that fight? Did you think you won it even before they announced the judges' scorecards?
I do think I won. I know that she was going for a lot of submission attempts, but I was able to maintain top position, and she never was able to finish any of those exchanges. I took her down every time and was able to maintain top position in ground and pound. So I think that's and all the in-betweens, the breaks, my aggression in between the breaks, I feel like is what squeaked out the win for me.
You and Felice have been around this game for a long time. Is this someone that has been on your radar, someone that you've thought about fighting before?
Yeah, we were actually slated to fight before I fought Paige.
That's right.
And then I fought Paige.
Yes.
But yeah, her and I were on the Master Toddy Fight Girl show way back in the day on the Oxen channel. And at that time, I was still fighting at atom weight, and she was fighting at straw weight. So we were never matched up, but we definitely came through this journey together, and I knew that eventually that we would end up fighting each other. So here we are.
Wow.
One of the biggest fight cards.
I forgot about that reality show that you guys. That was sort of like a Tough, right? You guys all lived in a house together.
Yeah, it was basically a Tough for female Muay Thai fighters.
Wow. Was it a mess? Did you enjoy that?
It was a learning experience for sure. I was still very young, barely, leaving the nest of my home, and just a bit naive, I would say. And so when you're thrown into a situation where you have to live with a bunch of girls and there are cameras on you 24/7, you learn a lot about yourself and about the world around you and what you're getting yourself into. So I would say that the reality show opened my eyes to the world around me.
You are one of the faces of Jackson Wink. You are a mainstay there, and there's been a lot of drama surrounding that camp as of late, as I'm sure you know. How would you describe the atmosphere, the environment these days with everything that happened with Donald Cerrone and Coach Wink? What is it like?
I feel like the drama has been blown out of proportion, and it's been easy for the outside world to pick it up and to maybe see it as a lot of drama, but for me, everything has been running smoothly at my camp. I still, really do love and care for Donald and for Coach Wink. They just had a bit of a spat and a disagreement, and that happens. That always happens within families. This one just happened to get out in the public, and I have no doubt in my mind that they'll make up and things will continue to move forward. It's just the evolution of any fight camp, really. People grow and evolve.
Earlier today, we had Daniel Cormier on. He was talking about your friend John Jones, your training partner, your teammate more, I should say. I don't think you guys are actually sparring together. But
he's my main training partner.
Yes,
Ariel.
that would be incredible. But DC raised the question like, oh, did John tell on his teammates? Did he snitch on someone? And I'm sure you've heard this as well. Is this a concern for the team?
Snitch on him for what?
Oh, well, with the USADA stuff, it came out that his suspension was reduced because he shared information. And now people are calling him a snitch, a rat, that he told on teammates. His team is denying this, but this is the main accusation that people like Daniel Cormier have thrown at John over the last couple of days. Have you not heard about this?
Well, I guess not, because I've been training in my camp, but there's nothing going on at the Jackson's gym other than hard work, so just leave it at that.
Fair enough. I saw on your Instagram recently that you did this photo shoot where it seems like you're wearing like a beautiful dress, but you're underwater with your...
Yes.
What is going on with that? And I think we have some of those photos here. If you don't mind, people could see them on your Instagram, Karate High MMA. But these photos, are just incredible. Like, they're somewhat breathtaking. But why are you taking photos underwater wearing a dress? A whole bunch of them there were, but these ones in particular stood out to me. What is this all about?
It's just about having fun and trying to go outside of the MMA world and explore different things that I can do and just being fun and creating new content for my social media. Training can sometimes be very monotonous. The in and out training, and it's nice to kind of break that up. And there's a local photographer, and his name is Brian, and he has really, really high-end underwater camera equipment. And he found out that I had a pool in my backyard, and I said, let's do it. And so we did it, and it was just fun,
Was it hard to, A, hold your breath for that long, and B, open your eyes underwater? That's the first thing that came to mind.
It was so hard, but actually the photographer was quite impressed how long I could hold my breath underwater. He's used to some of the models having to come back up for air, and I guess that's a tribute to my conditioning. So,
yes.
It was lots of fun. It took a little getting used to opening up my eyes and trying to focus on the camera, but no, it was lots of fun and a change of pace.
Did the water ruin your dress?
That I've had that dress for I would want to say over 10 years, and I kept it thinking, I'd probably use it for something else, and I just never have. So when he asked me if I had something that's kind of flowy, then I just pulled it out of my closet, and it didn't matter if I ruined it or not. I don't know when I would ever wear that again.
Okay, fair enough. And speaking of conditioning, by the way, and I hope she doesn't take offense, in the Level Up video contest, if you will, I mean, I thought that you edged Holly 10-9. I know you were a tandem, so to speak. It just seemed like your choreography was a little more on point. Phenomenal stuff out of you, and I even saw Ciara post about it as well. But it just seemed like you edged her a little bit in the choreography.
Oh, my gosh. Holly and I had so much fun doing that, and that choreography, by the way, was incredibly hard. The 8 count for that was super fast. We were planning on doing it outside, but we had to do it inside because we had to keep the video on so Holly and I could watch Sierra do it while we tried to look semi good.
How long did you guys spend on that?
It was just a good time. Holly was like, "Hey, we should do level up challenge." So she sent me the tutorial on or the choreography on how to do it, and I was watching it maybe in and out for a couple of weeks, but man, so we both kind of practiced on our own in our own time, and then we got together for a couple of hours and just threw it together. We laughed a lot, had a bunch of bloopers, and picked the best one that we could to post.
And then Sierra posts about it. That must have been nuts.
Oh, Sierra is a powerhouse, and that was pretty exciting that she posted about it, especially with her busy life. I'm sure she has a million other things going on, but it was nice to see her support some other females.
And a million other things. You have the same amount, a lot going on in your life. I appreciate you squeezing us in, Michelle. Best of luck to you this week. Enjoy the craziness that is to come for everyone on this card. It's going to be quite the scene on Friday at the ceremonial weigh-ins. Enjoy every step, and of course, best of luck on Saturday against Felice. Can't wait for the fight. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Ariel.
All right, there she is, Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie, fighting Felice Herrig on Saturday, UFC 229.